Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer and today is Monday, and Monday on our channel we show what we've been making for the past 7 days, give or take, and that is what we're going to do today. We call it Monday Makes. So let's get into it. Also today, aside from showing you what I have made, what I have finished, I'm trying to remember if I showed you the rag rug finish because I don't think I did. I think the last I showed it was in progress, but I think I did finish that this week. I have a piece of Happy Mail that I got from Hannah at Cozy Cottage Crochet. I will show you in this video. I have updates on everything that's going on in my world, in the house, with my health. Like, there's lots to talk about, so let's get to it. All right, so what did I make this week? You will see me, as soon as this bad baby cools down, I'm going to be sipping on the best frappe ever. It's in my Walt Disney World cup. I got some Frappuccino called Caramel Apple Frappe from Aldi's. It's clearance out at my store currently because it's a fall flavor. Whew, it's good, but I can only have one a week because it's got loads of sugar in it, and I am a diabetic. But I'm allowing myself the treat today because today is Sunday. And the past couple days in my world have been intense, and I threw my back out this morning, so I'm feeling really sorry for myself. So I'm having a coffee with sugar in it, and I'm just gonna deal with it. But other than that, let's show you what I've been working on. I am only showing you what I have made, what I finished this week, because I haven't started anything that I haven't finished yet. So if you recall, several weeks ago now, I got a bunch of yarn from several thrift stores. This is what is left over after I finished and completed my rag rug. Okay, and what I did with the rag rug is I'm holding 2 strands together of worsted weight yarn, and I'm doing also boucle style yarn, which is a bulky 5. So it's alternating 2 strands of worsted or a strand of the boucle bulky yarn. And what I'm doing is I'm doing 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows. The stitch pattern for this is based off of Luke's blanket, which is a tutorial here on the channel. This is what is left over. I have enough to make probably a blanket from what's left in here. I may do that. I haven't washed this rug yet, so that is something that needs to be done today, because we actually went to the laundromat today to get out of the house. Because today in my world on Sunday, we had open house. One person showed up. One person. And then someone showed up afterward. They wanted to come and see. The house went for sale officially midnight Thursday morning. So Thursday we had someone come. Friday we had 2 families come. Saturday we had 3 families come. Sunday we had 2 families come. So it's like a whole lot of gathering everyone out of the house, dogs, children, people, everyone, and go sit somewhere for a while people are in and out of our house, and it's making me feel a little cuckoo. Like, it's not good. It's stress inducing. It is. So I finished the rug. I think it looks really cool. Again, this is the same stitch pattern as here, same stitch pattern as the Luke's blanket. I think it's called a block stitch. If you hear pounding above my head, that's my son jumping up and down in his room or banging on. I don't know what he's doing. But I finished the rag rug. It is complete. It is the perfect size to sit in front of your kitchen sink or in front of your toilet. I really like the way it turned out. It's very fun. It's very pretty. It's very colorful. And this is 2 worsted weight boucle, 2 worsted weight boucle. So every time you see a zigzag, this is actually 2 rows. And then every once in a while I threw in, this yarn is called boa. So instead of doing a boucle yarn, I held a boa together with a worsted weight. And that's what it looks like. So the rag rug is complete. And I think it's very pretty. It just needs to be washed because this is thrift store yarn and it smells musty. All right, now, I have been making woobles. And the reason I've been making woobles, that's actually my leftovers, which I will absolutely show you. I have been making woobles, and much like the, I gotta grab them, the Halloween, much like the Halloween woobles, I went through and printed off all of the patterns. Okay, I stapled the little card on the front of it, and then I took the sticker off the back of the wooble bits, the wee woobly bits thing. I put the sticker on here saying I completed this one. That's how I know I did this one. I actually made 4 woobles this week, and the reason I was able to make 4 woobles this week is because what I just told you. There's a whole lot of grab everything, grab everybody, go sit in a van somewhere with 4 dogs in the car and a very hyperactive child. So we've been going to the park so he can get out of the car and run around and play and burn up energy while I sit in the car and listen to 4 dogs whine and bite at each other and whimper and bark at passing strangers until I am so overstimulated that I'm ready to rip my hair out. So how do I manage that kind of stress? I take these cute little buckets that are all sold out at my store. These are from Home Depot. They're the HDX brand. They had black and they have clear. These were $2.50 each for these cute little plastic bins. I bought a bunch. I threw a wooble and all the things for the wooble in the plastic bin. I took this with me because even if the dogs stand on this, it's not going to damage the yarn that's inside. So I actually have, this is the one I was working out of yesterday, and this is some candy. But also this is leftovers from the woobles kits that I have been working on. I'm going to check and see if my coffee is cooled enough for me to take a sip because it smells like absolute heaven. It's real hot. You can definitely taste the apple. It tastes like they made a mild coffee and put apple cider and caramel in here. Which I didn't think I would like apple flavoring in coffee because that doesn't seem like it should go together. But it does. It's num-nums in my tum-tums. It is very, very hot though. I'm gonna have to let that set. In absolute reverse order, I made Noel the snow wooble. I, however, changed Noel because I didn't like the way they did it. I do this frequently with patterns. I will go, oh, that's so cute, I want to make it. And then while I'm making it, I'm like, but can I just change some things? So my niece feels the same way, okay? So she's very, very excited that we have woobles to play with. She's very excited. She got herself a couple of kits at, I think, Walmart. And I, of course, let her access my patterns. I do. I let her access my patterns. She's like my child. It's fine. So anyway, she was looking through which one she wanted to make. And she looked at Noel. She goes, I don't like the way Noel looked. I'm calling him Noel. I don't know why I keep calling him Noel. Noel. So I don't like the way he looks. He looks weird. He does look weird. He looks like he's just a snow turd. Like he's just like a boop. Even if you look at the pattern, it's just like it's not defined like a snowman is. So I knew that was going to drive me crazy because snowmen should at least have a head and a body separate, if not 3 balls. Okay, 2 balls, sometimes 3. And I also knew that the scarf would drive me nuts because it would probably slip. So I changed his, I actually added 2 rows in. I decreased a row and I increased a row to get it back to the neck. So there's a divot in his neck. And I didn't make the pom-pom because by the time I got to this point, I was like, I don't want to make a pom-pom. I don't like the pom-pom. He's just going to have a hat and he's going to call it a day. It's just his beanie. And I didn't actually at all read how they did the little buttons. I just kind of like embroidered buttons on there and I called it a day. I also changed his scarf because his scarf was a chain of 51 and a single crochet 50 back. And instead of doing that, I did a foundation single crochet so that it creates the chain and the single crochet all at one time. And then I just did 50 foundation single crochets. This is Noel, and I think mine's cuter. He's taller because he's 2 extra rows big, and he's got the cute little rounded head, so he's technically 2 balls. See? I embroidered. That's supposed to be a circle, okay? So if it looks like it's pointing upward, that was not intentional. I did notice that last night. I was like, looks a little weird. Looks a little weird. That's Noel. I attached his hat because his hat didn't want to stay on, so I just attached it. And then his scarf ties, which I think now that I'm looking at the picture, I'm going to tie it off to the side. The entirety of Noel, with the exception of his branches, are sparkly. So the white yarn is sparkly, the red yarn is sparkly. Oh, the black's not sparkly either. And his carrot is sparkly. And it's harder to see the white, but the white is sparkly. His branches are not sparkly. I also did his arms a little different. So in the pattern, they had you make the arms and then sew them on, I believe. And I just attached them, and I just made the arms from attaching them to his body so that I didn't have to attach anything later on, because I didn't really want to do that. So that's Noel the Snowman. He is complete. We have lots of stuff left over. This is enough to make another Wooble snowman. There's quite a bit there. So that's why I say when I told you guys about the Wooble patterns or the Wooble kits, there's very, very often more than enough, or at least close to enough, to make a second Wooble. And I'm wondering if that's intentional because these are geared towards beginners. I'm wondering if they put enough in there in case you mess up, you can start over again and you still have enough to make another one, or if you mess up that bad. Or if the intention is to make a practice one and then you can make a secondary one. I don't know. I've never talked to Woobles. I did have a problem with my Woobles account and I contacted customer service, and I haven't actually checked to see if it was resolved yet or not. I got a pattern and they wouldn't let me load it in. They said that the password expired. And so they wouldn't let me load it into my account or even view the pattern, which irritated me a little bit. So I contacted customer service and they said that they wanted a photo of the card that comes in the woobly bits. And so I have to do that. I haven't had time to do because I've barely been home because people keep wanting to come at my house, which I'm not complaining about. I just wish somebody would make an offer and then we can go about our day. So that is Noel. I'm also not using the Wooble hooks. I instead use my dots hooks because, do you see the difference in the size of the dots hooks? I just prefer the bigger hooks in my hand because the way I hold my hook, that calluses and it drives me crazy. So I'm still using 4mm, I'm just using a dots hook. All right, the next one I made was, there's debate on what her name is. Looks to me like it says Janus. My niece says it's supposed to be Janice. They just spelled it weird, but it's spelled like Janus. So we're gonna call her Janus the stocking. I don't know why her name is Janus. I could think of something else she could be with that name. So here is Janus. Now, another thing about Janus, I know I'm driving some of you crazy saying Janus. I'm sure that it's Janice, but I'm calling her Janus. The sun is like trying to peek through the window, so it's causing, look, I'm an angel. Oh! The pattern to the stocking left a little bit to the imagination, so there was stuffing in here, which is why I had so much left over. There was stuffing in here, but there's no directions on stuffing it or closing it off. So I don't know actually if they intended you to leave it open or to stuff it, or if you could leave that up to your discretion. Even the tutorial doesn't really say whether you're supposed to leave the stocking open or not, that I could see. So I left it open because Mr. Cinnamon's opinion was that she should be left open in case you want to put something in her, like a crochet hook. I mean, she have her own little crochet hook, and that's actually kind of cute for Christmas. Look how cute that is. You make somebody and then you give them the crochet hook that came with it. So let me put the hooks back. That's Janice. I did not stuff her. She stands out, like she stays in shape pretty well. I expected this to be created differently. Like whenever I make a stocking, I make it like a sock. I make it this way and then I curve it up. And that this is created from the bottom, and you just put increases on one side and then decreases, and that creates the little footy part. I think she's cute. I was really on the fence whether I wanted to stuff her or not, but a stocking should be open. I also added, I think, 2 extra rows to make her her cuff longer, so that when I folded it, you didn't see the red line, and that's not the way the pattern is. Like her cuff is shorter in the pattern, but I still think she's really cute. So we have Noelle, which I keep calling Noel, and Janice. Janice. And just to be different, I made Bonnie the Jelly. I don't know why her name is Bonnie the Jelly, but she is gluten and jelly. And I say gluten because, in case you're new here, you don't know, Cinnamon Stitches is allergic to gluten, and gluten-free bread is quite disgusting in most instances. But I still made her. When you buy from, I almost said Premier Yarns. This is not from Premier Yarns. We do have a Premier Yarns box to unbox that Mommy Guru me later in the week, though. So stay tuned for that. It is within that 30 seconds that it's like the perfect temperature, and then in 10 seconds from now, it will be too cold. And yes, I have a mug warmer, but that's a big mug. Anyway, when you buy from the Woobles website, at the end when you're checking out, they always are like, hey, add an accessory for only $5 more. Add a mystery Wooble for $27 instead of the $30. And I was like, to hell with it. Like, let's do this. I added a mystery Wooble in there. I love a good mystery. And they sent me gluten with jam. But she's rather cute, so I ain't mad at her. I didn't do anything to change this pattern. I made it as is. I think she's adorable. So you make the jelly first, and she's the only one I actually put the blush on, because I think the stocking came with, yeah, the stocking came with blush, but he didn't get any because I didn't feel like doing it. I was at the end. I was like, no, Janice does not need blush, because she's wide open. Like, she doesn't need blush. It's fine. She has no blushing, okay? So I did this one. I gave her blush. It looks more like eye highlights, but whatever. So you make this part first. Then you make 2 pieces of bread. And then you sew, well, you put her on the first piece of bread. And then you sew the 2 pieces of bread together. This took me maybe an hour to make, if that. It took no time at all, and she's really, really cute. I thought about giving her to Mr. Cinnamon because he likes toast with jelly on it, or toast with jam on it, because that's the way Grandpa used to eat it. And it's just something he likes to have, and I can't. I'm not a big sweet person, so I don't really like jelly or jam unless it's in my mom's homemade thumbprint cookies, which there's a recipe here on the channel for a gluten-free version of my mom's thumbprint cookies. In case you didn't know that, it is here on the channel somewhere. They're delicious, and I use Bon Maman blackberry and raspberry jelly, jam, preserves, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I thought about giving this to Mr. Cinnamon. Because the last time I made him an amigurumi, he left it out and it got chewed by the dogs. So just might give him that one. And then the very first one, which is the last one I'm showing you that I made this week, is I made Douglas the tree. Douglas the fir. Mr. Cinnamon actually really liked this one. For years and years, he would not have a plastic tree in our house. He was anti-plastic tree. Now, I grew up on plastic trees. We couldn't afford to go chop down trees. My mom also always said they were too much work, too much to clean up. If you remember me talking about my mother, she had severe OCD, and she cleaned obsessively all the time. And I can imagine a real tree would have absolutely drove her crazy, because one needle on the floor, she would have been sweeping for days. When I met Mr. Cinnamon, he was very much, we got to have a real tree, which is funny because he's from California and they don't actually have a lot of plant lives that grow where he's from, because he's from the concrete jungle. Okay. They have the beach and they have concrete, and that's about it. And some palm trees and some cactuses. Okay. And he was adamant it had to be a fresh cut Christmas tree, or at least a live Christmas tree, you know. And so for years and years, we've always had a live Christmas tree. And we have a lot of really good memories of going and cutting down Christmas trees every year. Specifically in Michigan, we had one place we went to and it was just so much fun. And we took my dad one year, and there's a memory of Lucas's first Christmas. We went, and I was, 4 months postpartum from a C-section, and I was breastfeeding him, so like it was, and he never slept for 5 full years. He didn't sleep for 5 years. Like newborn stage, every hour on the hour he was awake screaming for 5 years. Anyway, he was a little tiny little thing. I had him all wrapped up. We were out, and it was us, my sister, and the girls. So we had the 4 kids with us and 3 adults. And we went to this Christmas tree farm, and we found the perfect Christmas tree. And I'm like, it's Lucas's first Christmas. And I was so excited. And we cut down the Christmas tree, and it gave us a lot of problems. The trunk at the base where we were trying to cut was very, very thick. And we fought and we fought and we fought to cut the tree down. And we ended up having to borrow a chainsaw from someone else that was at the Christmas tree farm. And then when we got the tree, we put it on top of the van, and it rolled off and hit another car that was next to us, and that guy was mad. It was a horrible experience, right? We get the tree home, we put it up, and it was dead before Christmas Day. It was all the way dead. Like, it was brown. I'm surprised it didn't light on fire. I cried and cried and cried, like, my baby's first Christmas is ruined. We destroyed Christmas. And like, it was insane. And then a couple years ago, we went looking. It was a drought. It was either a drought or it was a really rainy season. I don't remember what it was. But the Christmas tree farms were suffering in our area. And we went from farm to farm to farm to farm. And after about 8 hours of looking for any Christmas tree that would fit in our house, that wasn't dead or like orange from the fungus, like, it was just crazy. We decided to go to Walmart. We bought a plastic tree for $89, which was actually cheaper than all of the fresh cut Christmas trees in our area. And I loved the low maintenance of the plastic Christmas tree, and I bought the little scent crystal things that you put on the Christmas tree so it smelled nice in the house still. And ever since that year, we have had a plastic Christmas tree in our house, and I am perfectly happy with that. So Douglas the fir brings back all of the memories of our Christmas trees and all of our Christmases over the years, and all the memories that we have made together as a family unit. This is Douglas the fir. And I did change up his pattern a little bit. Again, the trunk was made kind of like the snowman's arms, where you make it and then you attach it. And so when you make this, you start in the center and you work down the Christmas tree, and then you close it all the way off at the bottom. And then you come back on and you surface crochet to make the leaves. or the stems, the whatever you call the branches. And then you add the star, and then you crochet this bottom up and then attach it. I didn't want to do that. So I didn't actually close off the tree at all on the bottom. And then I just added the stem going this way and closed it off. And it's still really flat. It wants to stand up. Look at that. And I think he's adorable. I love the way he turned out. And I had a lot of fun making these this week. And I think he took me the longest. He probably took 4 hours total because he was being made on a day where I was gathering the dogs, putting them in the car, crochet a couple stitches, put the dogs back in the house after an hour or two, sit on the couch for a minute, and then I crochet a couple stitches, and then we had to leave again because somebody else wanted to come look at the house, and then I had to do a couple stitches and cook dinner, and it was like, I'm gonna say it was probably about 4 hours total to make him, which is not terrible. I forgot to finish telling you about the patterns. So when I did the Halloween advent calendar, I printed all of the patterns. I stapled their little cards on here. When I do them, I put the sticker from the Wee Wooble Bits thing on the paper to say that I did this one already. And instead of doing the advent calendar, which is right here, by the day, I go look through the patterns and I pick one I want to do that day. And I do it. So if I only have a small amount of time because 8 people want to come look at the house, or we have errands to run, or I have to homeschool, like all these reasons, I can grab a small one on the go. I can grab a tiny toy car or a tiny toy sailboat or a tiny piece of candy or tiny little blocks, and I can make little tiny amigurumi on the go. Or if I want to invest in one of the bigger ones, like the ones I just made, which all 4 of these are the bigger ones, I can take that on the go. I don't like being stuck to, oh, today's the 4th day of the Advent, I have to make something I really am not excited about. I would rather do it this way where I'm, and not only that, I bought all of these separate. These are not part of the kit. These actually can go right in the garbage now because they're done, and this needs to go back in my folder. Now, I'm gonna put these in my bucket for now so they don't get messed up. I'm not quite ready to display the Woobles Advent Calendar just because so many people have been in and out of the house. I don't want someone to come in and think it's cute and put it in their pocket, which I'm afraid that's gonna happen. All right, now, taking out the Nerds Gummy clusters that I'm hiding from my son, or my Icebreakers Duo, which are my on-the-go mints, which also I'm hiding from my son because he has a sweet tooth. This is the leftovers from the 4 Wooble kits that I just showed you. This is how much stuffing is left over, and those are all stuffed very firmly. This is the yarn that's left over from the Snowman, which is enough to make another whole amigurumi. This is like a half a skein. This is what's left over from Douglas the fir tree, the Christmas tree. Red is left over from the stocking, which is about a half of skein. And then we have the bread color, yellow, more brown from, I don't know, whatever kit was in here. This is all left over from the kits. Now, the reason I tell you that is because it was pointed out to me when I was criticizing the price of the Woobles. This is what's left over from the Halloween kits. Quite a bit. And actually, I'm probably going to condense the Christmas bucket with the Halloween bucket when I finish this video. So that I have this bucket empty for other stuff. But yeah, there's more than enough. Excuse me, there's more than enough yarn, and if you add up the extra eyeball from every kit, because every one of the Woobles has 3 eyeballs. the front and the back, 3 pieces of eyeballs. And that's in case you open it, which has happened to me 100 times. You drop an eyeball and you lose it, you can't find it. And then you're like, what am I gonna do? Only put 1 eyeball in? That's irritating. So Woobles puts 3 eyeballs in, which I think is genius. But also, I have 4 kits there, which means I have an extra eyeball for all 4 of those kits. I now have 4 extra eyeballs to make 2 more Woobles. I'm telling you, that's so good. Oh, we got a little residue. Turn that around. That's nummies. Nummy, nummy, nummy. All right. That's what I've made this week. Kind of proud of it. I feel like I did a good job considering how chaotic everything was this week. I also stuck, this was my scrap bin, which I packed all my scrap yarn away. Now I have all my Woobles and my crochet kits in here so that I can grab these as I go. The ones from the advent calendar are still in the advent calendar, but I have these out so that I have someplace to put them. So that I emptied 4 out of there. I'm really proud of that. All right, now I'm gonna talk about Happy Mail because we're gonna take the buffalo by the horns. Okay, I got this beautiful shirt in Happy Mail from Hannah at Cozy Cottage Crochet here on YouTube. Her name is Hannah. She is fantastic. She is the sweetest thing. She made a gift box. Now she did message me and say that she was sending candy for Lucas because her daughter Noah, who is a sweetheart, and she is so spunky and I love her personality. Nova made a collection of her favorite candies for Lucas because Lucas broke his arm. And so she didn't tell me that anything in this box was gonna be for me, so I was like surprised when I opened it. And she put a shirt in here and a 4X, which I so appreciate because even though technically I wear a 3X now because I've lost a bunch of weight, I like my shirts to be loose and baggy. I don't like anything that's big on me, so I'm so appreciative that the shirt actually fits me, so thank you. She also makes crochet patterns, and she makes sure that they are size inclusive because you just should. And she like supports everybody, period. Exclamation point. Now, what also was in here, oh, I also have some cards. What also was in here, oh, see, it's spilled out. Hang on. Made me uber happy because, of course I threw it on the floor. She put little notes on everything, so I knew what the heck everything was. She sent me goodies, treats, okay? And the reason I knew that I was safe eating the treats that she sent me is because she has food allergies in her house too. And for a brief moment, she had to eliminate gluten in her house just as a test to see if gluten was an issue in her house. And we had discussions about gluten and how frustrating gluten is to deal with, and all the other allergens like soy and like eggs and milk and dairy. Like there's so many. If you have never had a food aversion, a food allergy, a food sensitivity, thank whoever you believe in or whatever you believe in. Just thank the stars, thank the universe, thank God, because it is incredibly difficult to deal with food allergies. And so when I saw that she sent me not only gluten-free snacks, she also sent me 0 sugar snacks because I have diabetes, and I know that that's confusing because I actually am drinking a little bit of sugar in my coffee, but I'm allowed some sugar as long as I get up and I work it off so that it doesn't make me have a sugar spike. So she sent me, first of all, these are the best gluten-free gummies that exist. These are my daughter's favorites, and they're 0 sugar. I've never seen the 0 sugar Albanese. And these are not only gluten-free, but they're sugar-free and they're low-calorie. Oh no, it says not a low-calorie food. That's fine. Made in the USA, 12 flavors of gummy bears. Just flavors. And Albanese makes different gummy bears for different seasons. So they have gummy ducks and chicks, I think, were for Easter this year. I don't know what the Halloween ones were. They do gummy worm. They do all kinds of gummies. So there's cherry, strawberry, mango, pineapple, lemon, orange, green apple, watermelon, pink grapefruit, lime, blue raspberry, and something that says GR, but it's cut off. No, hang on. Grape. Well, the grape can stay in there because I hate grape. I hate grape flavored anything. Don't like grape. I like the other flavors though. It says woman owned, albaneseconfectionery.com. These are popping up in all kinds of stores. There used to be a time where I could only find these at Big Lot before Big Lot closed and then reopened. But now Albanese is like at every store. So they're definitely chewy gummies. So if you have a problem chewing on stuff, you're not gonna like those. These made me ridiculously happy. And I think, I know Hannah's been paying attention to what I'm saying because caramels are my favorite candy in the whole world, but finding not only a gluten-free but a sugar-free caramel that tastes good is so hard to do. And when I saw these, I was like, sugar-free and gluten-free, what? And it popped one in my mouth. It was really good. And Mr. Cinnamon said slow down. Mr. Cinnamon even said that these were good. And it says Tom and Jenny's, so it's got my name on here. Which the only people that are allowed to call me Jenny is little kids or my nieces, because I am Aunt Jenny to them. This is what a sugar-free, gluten-free caramel looks like. And what I like about these caramels is they don't stick to your teeth, because that drives me crazy. They're real good. One moment while I chew. Classic ginger, coffee, spiced rum. I'm gonna have to look at these. Refer friends and get $5 off. If you've never had allulose or maltitol, start slowly with a few pieces spread over each day to avoid tummy discomfort. You can get blazing diarrhea if you eat too many of these. Heat causes caramels to get soft and sticky. Cool them in the fridge and the wrapper will peel off neatly. Always reseal the pouch to keep the moisture out. Tom and Jenny's was started by a dentist in her home kitchen with a single vision: guilt-free snacking. We believe you should enjoy your treats without compromise. No weird aftertaste, no gimmicks, just better for you snacks that you'll truly crave. Yeah. So, these are really good. They do have dairy in them though. There's actual cream in them. She sent me 2 packs and they are delicious. There is a very, very slight, oh, that's fake sugar aftertaste, but it's not enough that it even like affects me. Like it just tastes caramelly till the very end. And you take a drink of something and that goes away. And it complements the coffee so good. And then she sent me this. This is an eyeball attaching tool. She probably saw me recently fussing with my other eyeball attachment tool. Oh, it's glittery. No, it's not. It's just shiny. This looks like it's 3D printed. And it helps you to attach the eyeballs. And this is from Bella and Benny. Aw, Benny, that's my Bubba's. Designs and a little paw print. Okay. Do they have a dog named Benny? because that's my dog's, my dog's name is Bentley, but I call him Benny Boo Boo. This is, oh, it is it sparkly? Like when it hits the sunlight, it looks kind of sparkly. I think it is sparkly. Down here, it just looks, like if I look down here, it doesn't look it, but if I look in the sunlight, it looks sparkly. Maybe it's just shiny. I'm just losing my mind. So anyway, I'm going to put this in with my Woobles. This one. And I'm going to test that out. Because she said that it helps with putting the eyeballs in without straining too much. Because I was struggling to use that other one. And it's funny is she put a little card in here. And it says, I wrote the entire card upside down. She did. It's very funny though. And then she talks about her kids in there and why she wanted to make me a package and telling me how amazing I am and how pretty and sweet I am. No, it doesn't say that I'm pretty, but I thought I would add that. And then I got a Halloween card from Carrie Penny at Happy Crafty Homemaker. If you never watched Carrie Penny, she's a hoot. She's very, she's high energy, high enthusiasm, and she's very knowledgeable about a lot of things that I just don't know. So I always learn something from Carrie. Carrie is an avid crafter. She does knitting, crochet. She does a lot of paper crafts, paper stuff. And every Halloween she sends out Halloween cards, and I just happen to be one of the lucky few that, well, she sends out a lot. I still am one of the lucky few that she sends out a handmade card to, and I am always grateful for that. And yes, I did actually get that before Halloween, but it is what it is. And then I got a note from Pat in Kansas. She sent me a note. She's a 90-year-old lady. She watches my videos. She crochets a lot, mostly for charity. And she talks about stuff she's seen in the video, and she is very sweet. So thank you, Pat, for the card. And then I got a card from Victoria in Colorado. Come on. It says, sometimes all you need is one big hug. And I really, really needed a hug when I got that card. So thank you so much, Victoria. So that is my happy mail. And now I'm just going to be extra, extra rude, and I'm going to put a gummy bear in my mouth. See if we can find a blue raspberry. Blue raspberry is my favorite. These little bears are kind of fat, which I'm here for. It's cute. These are good. I don't know if that's the blue raspberry though. I kind of want a pink grapefruit. I love grapefruit flavored candy. I hate grapefruit. Yep, that was a pink grapefruit. He's pink. He tastes like the Hall's vitamin C drops. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for the... First of all, thanks for sending Lucas anything. But thanks for sending me such amazing gifts. Alright, did I say the buffalo shirt is from her too? They're cute. She put in the note that when it's too warm to wear buffalo, I can wear buffalo in a t-shirt form. Which is funny because she lives in Florida. She knows it's always too warm for buffalo fur. Now I live, what, like 8-9 hours north of her. So I complained that it's too hot here, but like it's not Florida, but still there's some days where it's as hot here as it is in Florida, and sometimes it's as humid here as it is in Florida. No, it's not. I'm not even gonna pretend it's not. We do have days where it's really miserable, but it's never as humid. Like when you're in Florida, sometimes you step out of the house and like literally you feel like you walked into a sauna because it's so moist in the air. And living in Virginia, I've gotten much more comfortable with the heat, so when I go to Florida I don't feel like I'm dying, because we used to go to Florida when we lived in Michigan, and oh my god, the difference between Michigan and Florida is like I'm gonna assume the difference between England and Florida, like it's insane, or Canada and Florida. Because you know, there's actually a part of Windsor, Ontario that is south of where I grew up. So like technically I grew up north of Canada in some spots. If you want to get technical. But what the heck was I saying? Florida humidity. Anyway, I do have buffalo wool that is, I think, packed away, although I have a little skein right there that I still haven't worked up, that is waiting to be turned into something so that I can actually go to the buffalo farm. I know he's a bison technically. I know I'm gonna get corrected. He's always gonna be a buffalo to me. I grew up with buffalo. It's hard to change that. It's not actually a buffalo, it's a bison. I do know this. You don't have to correct me. But yeah, I fully predict that when I make something out of the buffalo wool that I spun, that I took and processed from fresh off the buffalo, turned it into beautiful yarn. Once I do actually make that into something, I think that the only time I'm actually going to be able to wear it is in the winter time, because buffalo is really, really warm and I'm very hot-blooded. So I love this shirt so much. I think look at his little face. He's a happy buffalo. Hello, my name is Biff. I'm a happy buffalo. And yes, I changed my shirt just for this video because I had another shirt on earlier. And I went to the laundromat with 4 dogs in tow to do laundry so that we were out of the house so people could come and walk in through my house. So we're going to talk about the house stuff now while I sip on my coffee. Nobody warns you how hard it is to put your house on the market, that it is. First of all, I have to keep leaving and packing stuff up. Stress. Getting 4 dogs in the car, and Bentley doesn't like being in the car at all. And Poncho wants to bark at everybody, so that noise is like, oh. But nobody tells you. I have cameras all around my house, and we have made it a point to not listen to what anybody says because we don't want to get our feelings hurt. If somebody comes in and is like, oh, did you see the couch? My couch is fantastic, first of all, so I don't think they would say that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking of things I have said walking out of some of the houses we've been looking at, because we have looked at houses recently. Why did they pick those curtains? Something. Somebody's going to complain about something, right? I don't want to get my feelings hurt, so we're not actually watching or listening in. We will check the cameras to see if they've left yet so we can come home. Or did they ever show up? That kind of thing. But where we've agreed to not listen. Now, the problem with the cameras is if somebody walks in and turns around and walks right back out within 10 minutes, that hurts your feelings, because why didn't you want to explore a little bit? Like, my house looks really pretty. I worked really hard on it, and it hurts my feelings. And by the way, the Cinnamon Buns Ride or Die member level got to see the actual video that they filmed for the listing on our house. I posted it because they made my house look so beautiful. I actually got emotional watching the video because I thought about when we do move out, it's going to be hard because I've made so many beautiful memories with my family in this house. And it's going to be hard to leave that behind. As much as I want that to happen, it's still going to be hard. And I was watching, I was like, oh, it's my house. And my house looks so pretty. And It's hard when somebody comes and they're only here for 10 minutes. They like walk out and then go on to the next place or like whatever. And so I feel really defeated. And it's stupid because we've had a lot of people interested. In 3 days, we've had 883 views or something. And I didn't post it for you guys to see, although a couple of you did find it. I know it's not just you guys looking at the listing. And we've had a lot of people contacting wanting to come look at the house. So that's a good thing. But it's disheartening when they come in and they leave quickly. So we still have a couple of things in the house that need to be fixed or worked on. And I'm hoping, because there's a spot on the floor outside of the downstairs bathroom where the toilet overflowed and the floor swelled up a little bit, so it's buckled. Just 2 boards are buckled. And that has been some feedback, is that people are complaining that the floor is buckled. So we're going to call somebody in and get that taken care of and repaired. And I think I want to have because we have wood floors, I want to have the wood floors polished to make them shiny, because they're dull from years of kids running in and out and dogs. And we had a cat at one point. So I think if we get the wood floors shined up and that little spot fixed, I think it's going to be no time at all before we have an offer on our house. I am praying and praying and praying that the right person comes along and sees the value in this house and that wants it and wants to raise their kids here and put love in this house again. Praying, just praying. And I'm worrying, and I'm not supposed to worry, I know that. I'm worrying because we found what I call the perfect house. I'm calling it the farmhouse, and it is exactly what I want. It has a lot of what we need, what I want, what I require. And every other house we've looked at does not compare to that house. And I'm so afraid that if this house takes too long to get an offer, we're not going to be able to put an offer on the other house, because they don't want a contingent offer. So they don't want an offer with the contingency that our house sells. And so, I don't know, it's stressful. It's stressful. I don't like it. I don't like the way this feels. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like that I'm feeling so insecure about the house. I don't like that I'm getting my feelings hurt because somebody didn't stay longer than 10 minutes. Although today, the last people were here for a half an hour and they were in the backyard talking about the backyard. And well, I assume that's what they were talking about. I didn't listen in, but they spent a good amount of time. And the very first people that came loved the house. They loved the location. They didn't like that the laundry was in the garage. And our real estate agent forgot to tell people that the hookups for the washer and dryer are in what I converted into the pantry. All you gotta do is move the washer and dryer back into the pantry. It's really easy, plug and play. And we will do it for you if that's what you want. And we probably could have had an offer with the very first people that came if that was mentioned in the MLS listing. So, a little bit irritated by that, but maybe they just weren't the right people for the house, and that's okay. We're just going to keep trucking along, keep doing what we're doing, keep working on things in the house, keeping the house spotless, which is so difficult. I feel like I'm yelling a lot, and I don't like yelling a lot. Because I have an ADHD son who likes to, when he gets bored, make a mess. And he does it right before I'm trying to get everybody out of the house, and I freak out, like, what are you doing? So, stress. Cheers. Here's to stress. In other news, in case you didn't hear, the government has reopened. My husband is back at work. Just in the nick of time for everything. I really feel like a lot of the stuff that has happened recently has been part of a bigger plan that I just couldn't see the big picture of. And him being home has been an absolute blessing with us getting so much done to get the house listed. So, And he went back to work just in time, financially speaking. Just in time. Because Jen was running out of money. And it worked out. It just worked out perfection. It just worked out perfection. So that's what's going on. Now, what is coming up this week is I have a kit that I'm gonna unbox that I bought at Five Below for $6, and it's a pretty big kit. So we're gonna look at that. And then I also purchased some amigurumi kits from Premier Yarns that I didn't know existed until I accidentally stumbled upon them. And we're gonna look at those and we're gonna review those on the channel as well. And once again, I am going to be pre-recording videos, so I'm probably gonna be wearing the same shirt in both of those videos because I'm gonna film those right now. Because it is Sunday evening and tomorrow we're going to look at a couple more houses, and I don't know if people are going to want to come look at our house tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. I also have to find a time to homeschool my son at some point in between getting these videos uploaded and going to look at houses. And I just need to remember to breathe because I'm so tense. Oh, I'm so tense. But with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. I will see you tomorrow. I don't know if it's gonna be a Premier Yarn video or if it's gonna be a Christmas wreath video. And as a matter of fact, I think, is the Premier Yarn sale still going on? What did I do with my postcard? What's today? The 16th. Yeah, this sale goes until Tuesday. The Premier Yarn sale is still going on, and they added more yarn. They added the sweet roll parfait fruits, 2 for $6. And the cakes are really big cakes, and they work up such cute amigurumi. And then another chenille yarn they put on sale as well. So if you want to buy those, don't forget to click my link before you purchase so that, you know, you can say, hey, Cinnamon Stitches sent me over here. That does help us run the channel. It really does. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.